So yeah, hi everyone. I just thought I'd drop you a line, a quick note about what's going on. Happy Christmas to you all. I have got, yes, a Christmassy kind of jumper on, feeling really festive. It is actually Boxing Day today, so Christmas technically was yesterday, but who cares? Most people are waking up not knowing what day it is at all. So it was a really good night out for them. What I'd like to do though is I'd like to, besides introduce myself, is to introduce what's happening. So my name's Carl James. I'm a divorce and breakup coach, a life coach, studied NLP, so all the things associated with NLP, as well as hypnotherapy. So with all those skills, I try to develop like a one-shop option. So I interact all those skills that I've got for whatever it is that I am using in the session. So whether or not be a Zoom call, a private session, a group session, or whether I am creating one of the webinars or something for YouTube. I want to incorporate all those skills to be able to deal with and help people progress through life and get past their hurdles. So, besides all that, there will be on January the 7th at 7 p.m. I will be doing an introduction into those elements that I've just spoken about. The idea of the webinar is for people who are interested in that, people who are looking for help and assistance on trying to move on through life, either because they've had a divorce or because they have a block in life, a hurdle. Okay, that's the most of us in life have that problem where we are going forward. We believe we're going forward. What you're doing is waking up every day and repeating it like Groundhog Day. You're not moving your life forward. So whatever age you are and you decide that you're not quite getting everything out of life, there is a reason for it. So that is what I do. That is what I specialize in. I help you find your difficulties, find your hurdles, squash them and get past them. So how do I do that? I use multiple sources and skills which are available to me. My go-to guy where I learnt a lot of things and I'm still learning from is a guy called Richard Bandler, who was the creator, I would say, of neuro-linguistic programming, otherwise known as NLP, in the 1970s. But he took his inspiration from three very, very clever and well-versed therapists. And he wanted to know, as well as his partner, wanted to know why they were so good. What is it they do that makes them so successful? Can't even get the words out today. And what it is their little bits of skills, their bits of knowledge. And they've been taken from their context, used by Richard Bandler and his partner to create NLP. And they have constructed this amazing skill with NLP and all its operations, all its tools and techniques, so they can be passed on and used in courses as, I would say, a sort of landmark, a base for the courses that are created. And they build upon the structure of NLP. So you'll hear people saying the 4 pillars, 6 pillars, the 7 pillars. Okay, it's all taken from Richard Bandler and his NLP, and people have put it into courses because in many ways people will say you're just stealing someone else's idea, but they're not, because it's like a car mechanic goes to his car and says, we're going to change the oil. How we change the oil is take the nut off the sump to let the old oil drain out. There is no other way to explain it. There is no other way to do it. And NLP is the same. You can't change the nut taken from the sump to drain the oil, because that is how it's done. But from that point on, there might be a variation. And this is what coaches are doing and training corporations and agencies. They are explaining the tools and techniques within NLP, but in their own way. So they will explain it slightly different, maybe add something on, maybe take something away. But it's technically the same thing, because you cannot run them courses and pass that information on in any other way unless you've got your own different style that does not include any part of NLP, which I'm sure they're out there. I mean, you could just go completely psychological and use psychology, and you can use Gestalt therapy as a way of doing it, but it will stop you at some point, to which you then need to find another tool to go further or in another direction. And sometimes that can be difficult when you're just using one flat line of therapy. So if you were talking to a client and they came up with a situation that you're trying to help them with, and you use one particular source of therapy, you might end up getting stuck. Say, similar to Freud, he was very much into going back to the childhood to sort the problem out. But let's face it, not all problems are stemmed with childhood. It could be a situation that happened recently, last year, a decade ago, that has affected somebody, whether it be trauma, or whether it's something that happened that had a major impact on their life that they just can't change. So if we come to Freud and asked him to sort it out, he would stumble on the regression to childhood and to try to find the problem, because the problem's not there. The problem is further down the line. Now, yeah, he could go to a regression to a decade before the incident, or to find the incident, and maybe come up with something. But that is still, again, encapsulated into one therapy. So what I try to do is collect as much information on all the therapies that are available and use all the techniques that are used in, whether it be Jungian, whichever way you want to say it, whether it be Gestalt, whether it be Carl Jung, whether it be Freud himself, as we just mentioned. There's many of them. There's a couple of Carls, funny enough. So I tend to look at what they offer and how they use their skills on trying to solve issues, problems, difficulties, phobias even. So that's why I also went into hypnotherapy, because that again adds to the therapies and the ideas of the therapies to help people get through problems. And especially when it is a phobia. Phobias can't always be just spoken about. You can't just throw someone a spider and say, keep hold of that for 10 minutes, you'll be cured. Because what you're doing is introducing the fear straight away. And that will be difficult then to tame that down into anything positive, because people are in fear mode. Usually when they say fight or flight, I think it'll be more like flight. And they don't want that. So you don't introduce that level of fear in a hit like that. Don't get me wrong, you can talk about it and you can bring about the sensations people feel when they think about something like a spider in their hand or a spider in a web on a wall in a corner of a room. And you can work with techniques then to help deflect and almost crush the phobia and the fears, discomforts in life, whatever it may be. So without going too far into these ideas and these techniques and skills and whatever psychological method is used to assist people, I will open up the door on the 7th of January at 7 o'clock in the evening, and it will be a Zoom call. You are quite welcome to just turn up and listen, or you can add some comments. I will even open the mic to you and you can speak. You can come up with your own ideas. I'm not saying I have an answer for questions about everything specialized, but I can answer the questions on what I know. And if I don't know, I will tell you I do not know. It is not a part of what I have studied. But I will guarantee you'll get something out of this. As I've always said, a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. And I hope you do take something away from it. You may look at other courses that I will be offering. Some of them, if not the majority, are free. Some of them you will pay for. Why am I offering things for free, or why am I offering things that you need to pay for? Quite simply, because when I give you something for free, I'm enticing you to understand what is offered in the big picture. Because most people aren't going to pay money into something they don't know what it's about, or they might have an idea, but it could be crap. So I wouldn't want to start paying money for something that it at the end of the day is not what I thought, and at the end of the day it has no interest to me, so I've lost out on my money. So we give tasters, and everybody does it, or should do. And the taster is all about, this is what is on offer, these are some of the things that you can learn. Obviously we don't give you everything, because we want you to take more responsibility into understanding what is on offer and learn more. And it's pretty much guaranteed. If I offer you 10 courses for free, you'll probably watch 5 of them and think, I'll watch the other 5 next year when he's doing it for free. But if you pay, even though they're all small amounts, if you pay a small amount for something, you're more likely to want to watch it because you paid for it. And that is the theory and the psychology behind why we do things for free, why we do things and they're paid for. The other part of why do we do things that are paid for is that we have to create an income. If we don't, we can't go forward. If we don't, we can't pay for advertising, we can't pay for the subscriptions. You're watching this on Zoom, which you've got to pay for. You're watching this through a program called Ecamm, which is a beautiful designed program that creates better quality sessions with things I can add in that I can't do with Zooms. That has to be paid for. Everything has to be paid for, and we're taxed on. So unfortunately, because we're not all billionaires doing things for nothing, we have to charge so we can carry on going and produce better quality videos, better quality podcasts and YouTube sessions, private sessions. Fortunately, it all comes at a cost. When I do make millions, I will do everything for free. I don't mind, because I'll be in a financially stable situation and I will happily do it for free. I do it anyway because I enjoy it, I love it. I have a lust to be able to provide really immense information to help people carry on with their life and improve their life, get the goals that they're after. Okay? If you don't believe me, join me 7 o'clock at night on the 7th of January. Links are on Facebook, Insta, and a few other things. And for some reason, I've come across something called, what is it? Yellow 8 or something stupid. And I don't get it. It's another load of rubbish thrown on for everyone to get involved in. They think it's great. and it's just not. It's just a crappy platform, to be honest. I would stay with Insta. Anything below Instagram, and you're just in the gutters. So, lemonade. That's it. Lemonade. And the reason I've just remembered it, there's got to be a bit of a lemon to go on it. But that's up to you. That's my perception. You probably think it's great. It might offer you something that I haven't seen, I don't understand. But it doesn't offer to me really what I try to put out there, which is promoting what I do. But besides that, have fun. Have a great end of Christmas and a fantastic new year. I hope everything works out, and I hope at some point I get to speak to you, see you, or you see me. All the best, and have a great 2026.